All right, all right. We are live.
Hooray.
Yeah. And there'll be whoever wanted to respond to the links is going to be jumping in. So there'll be lots of people popping in. But right now we got James here. And yeah, I'm just, yeah, I finally got, I got a job, which gives me back a big chunk of my life. So I just wanted to catch up because I've been pretty much gone since October, really. And I'm just looking to see what people have been enjoying and up to in the past few months. Um, I think the last big thing that I watched that a lot of people were watching was Has Been, but and that was back in January. But like ever since then, I've just I my majority of my life, 80% of the time was work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep. So and then that 20% was cat naps. So um, yeah, I just want to know what people have been enjoying and have been privy to. Um, and it's been a little difficult for me to read, but I'm because the job also just fried my brain all the time. But the I'm trying to get back into reading. So and right now I've got I just I literally went to Amazon one day and I just saw a tag called steampunk manga. So I just clicked on that. And the first recommendation was this story called what was it called? The Witch and the Beast, or The Beast and the Witch. And the art's pretty cool and it's an interesting premise. Like I said, still still a little difficult to stay concentrated and read, but uh, the artwork's interesting and the premise is neat and it seems to have a pretty cool setting. So yeah, that's what I've been looking at. And I also not too long ago I did a little mini marathon of the Till Dusk Till Dawn movies. So that was pretty fun. Um, but yeah, anyways, I'll quit rambling for a minute. James, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Enjoying my night off of work.
Uh, those are very, very, those are very, very precious days. I'll tell you, I'll tell you what though. Like after my previous job, I was sometimes doing 16-hour days, and then with the amount of time it took to drive to and from work, it's like going back to a regular job, just an 8-hour job. The days fly by so fast,
Oh, I'm
and
sure.
and it's like you what I got out of there. It's like every second is precious. Uh, And we got Slim in the background here. Let me let him in.
Welcome.
Hello,
Hello.
Slim.
What's going on? What's going
Not
on?
not much. Just happy to be back in the world of the living. I just
But
wanted to see what people were into and watching, reading, etc. I've been pretty much gone since October.
you
Now,
claim to be in the land of the living, but aren't you like undead or something? Like how does that work?
details. But um, he,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're living non-conforming. Sorry.
There we go. There we go. That works. Um, but yeah, like I was telling James and everybody else, I want to see what people are reading and watching and enjoying. The last thing that my my dog is my dog's a little antsy right now. Last thing that I really watched that had a big audience to it was Has Been. That was back in January, but it's like ever since then, it's like I've just not had the time to really watch or read anything. So I would like to know what's going on in the world of entertainment, whether it's mainstream or independent. But I want to stay away from most of the drama if possible. Though I will say, when I did kind of check back in, I did walk in when there was people trying to. There was that one guy trying to bad talk Wendigoon, and that was pretty freaking awful. That was not a fun thing to see. As soon as it was like, okay, let's see what's going on in the entertainment world.
I tried to get into Hazbin Hotel. I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I'm like, wow, this is just okay. And then I heard like the further plot details. I'm like, oh, so instead of doing the original plot where it's just kind of, oh, a Disney princess in hell, which was actually funny, you're doing the unironic, oh, devils are the demons are the good guys, angels are the bad ones, guys, actually. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of disappointing and kind of boring, and I kind of just checked out.
No, I don't think that I would actually describe it that way. It actually seems like it's not really a sides thing. It's more of like it depends on the individual characters, because there's people on both ends that are good and bad.
Well, the way that I saw it presented was like, oh yeah, the angels at best were like ignorant. Like, how do I put this? Like, it's trying to do that kind of story without really like dedicating like to the world building, because it really does kind of boil down to, oh yeah, demons are at worst misunderstood, and the angels are at worst like are ignorant to like how angels are being treated by Adam and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that sounds kind of silly. That's kind of dumb. It's kind of boring too. Like, we've seen that a million times already. Like, at least do something funny or interesting with it. But it's just like, yeah, okay, so it turns out everyone in hell is just misunderstood, guys. It's a misunderstanding. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. So I decided, yeah, I'm gonna check out. It's fine. If you like it, that's fine. I'm not gonna sit here and say you're wrong.
Though the only thing I'm gonna say is like the actual show and the actual demons and stuff. No, they're not. A good chunk of them are not misunderstood. A lot of them, that's something that the show does dabble on a little bit, is like, well, can you really redeem? Is everybody, really acceptable for redemption? And it does appear they're really leaning heavily on, no, there's a lot of people in hell that are there for a good reason.
I get that, but like the thing, like I said, I saw like the first 2 episodes, and then I like glanced over some clips of it or whatever. I tried to get as much context as I could, and like from what I could tell, they kind of just dropped that whole plot line. It's like, yeah, no. At the end of the day, like basically they're saying like, oh yeah, this is a broken system that we have put in place, and then someone needs to address it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That's fine, but like, you're gonna sit here and tell me that angels are completely ignorant of what's going on with Adam, and even then, all Adam's doing is like purging the soul, the already dead, the already damned souls who already wasted their lives in the mortal realm or whatever, and just destroying them further. I don't know how that even works, but that's besides the point. I'm like, yeah, this just kind of seems like you went and went, like, because I like the pilot. I like the pilot because that's something you actually pointed out, like, are people like in hell worthy of redemption or whatever? I thought, oh, that's a fun concept I could do. And like, again, Charlie was kind of like a typical Disney princess and all that stuff. Like, okay, that's fun, that's interesting, you can do something with that. But like, again, I kept watching more and more of it. I'm like, yeah, they don't really do a good, they really are pushing for like, oh yeah, a lot of people, like a decent amount of people in hell are just misunderstood, not necessarily evil. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of dumb. Like, you could do like a whole plot line of like, oh, people need to become better even though they're in hell. That's fine. But it's like, no, they say a good chunk of them are misunderstood and all that stuff. And they're like, oh, it's like you have people arguing like, oh, I don't like this one character because he's in this show and he's like a rapist or whatever. Like, well, they're in hell. Like, I don't know what you expect. Like, why is the fan base mad that a rapist is in hell? Like, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, well, I try to not I try to not jump into like fan bases much anymore. I try to because they can just stir up a bunch of drama, or you could get into stuff that just takes away from some of the enjoyment of it. But
yeah, and
that's why I try to stick with like when I enjoy something, I like to just talk to my buds about it.
Yeah,
and,
like
I just want to say hello, Romby, and hello, Duskquill.
Wait,
and Dusk. No, we're not. Just talking has been. I just opened the door to that because I wanted to see what everybody was, watching and reading, and I was just saying like, even though that has been released a long while ago, back in January, that was kind of the last big thing I was able to watch. So that was just sharing my thoughts on it, and then Slim was sharing his.
Yeah, and also like if you like it, I don't care, dude. It's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, I did really enjoy it. It was like I wasn't going into it like for some deep philosophical thing, but I just enjoyed it. Was because I am a sucker for musical theater, and a lot of the recent Disney stuff has really sucked. And this is the closest thing that we've had to like
yeah,
like
the flamboyant vampire likes musicals. Who would have guessed? No one saw that coming.
But I do. But the thing is, it's like the songs and the songs are genuinely good. Like I will find myself humming the to the tune of them every now and again, just like the old Disney songs. Like there's one song in the show. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one that's sung by Lucifer and Alistair when they're it has got very strong "Friend Like Me" vibes from Aladdin, and I love that. It's very very upbeat, and it's very flashy, and there's a couple clever uses of words and such. I do miss like feel good fun stuff every now and again, because it feels like a lot of stuff is very very cynical or done out of spite and very mean spirited. So it was fun to just have like something that could take its time to just celebrate its own inventiveness and originality and ideas and such. So
I'm about to say, like, on a positive note, I do think Vizzy Pop is like a genuinely good songwriter. Like I'll give her that, and she is a talented animator too. I'm not going to pretend she isn't. It'd be disingenuous if I said otherwise. I'm just not a fan of like the content. And that's fine. That's perfectly okay.
All right, but so the main thing of the stream is to catch me up on some of the fun stuff that has gone on. So I'm gonna since we've been talking for a little bit, Slim, I'm gonna turn it to James and James, is there anything mainstream or you personally have been finding to watch or read or anything of that nature? And it could be mainstream or independent projects.
I mean, I've been reading a lot. I just read on my breaks at work. I just finished Brave New World last night.
Oh, cool.
It was a great book, but it makes me sad.
Oh, yeah.
But no. The only newish stuff that I really got into, I watched through Frieren. That was really, really good. Very, very wholesome.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty good.
Yes, that is something I have actually. That's something I've actually been told that has been very, very good, and I've even heard the word masterpiece thrown in a few times. So I'm genuinely curious about the show.
I will say this: the two animes that completely took over the internet, like in your absence, like from January, is Frieren and fucking Dungeon Moshi, the cooking dungeon or whatever. Those two have completely like taken over the internet, like without a doubt.
As somebody who loves to cook, I am and enjoys anime, I am very intrigued.
Yeah, but both of them are like non-serious. Like I kind of do that thing. It is just a pet. It is just me. I don't like when anime just gets like generic fantasy. It's just oversaturated and everything. But it's fine. But like they're from what I can tell, both of them aren't like super serious anime. They're more like slices of life in fantasy. more than anything else.
Yeah, so Frieren, I haven't seen Dungeon Meshi yet.
Hang on,
but it's on my
gushing
list.
over anime magical girls. That is not an anime. That is an ecchi, good sir. I don't know what else to describe it. It's an ecchi. I'm sorry.
But anyways, so yeah, Frieren is it is slice of life. What I really like about it is I'm a sucker for old school Dungeons and Dragons, and there are elements of Frieren that are very old school Dungeons and Dragons. But what's really neat about it is it focuses on what happens once you save the world. So like the first episode is Frieren's adventuring party has just gone back from like sealing away the Demon King or whatever. And then the party has their like final celebration in the big capital city, and then they split ways. And the show is focused on how Frieren kind of, in a sense, copes with losing her party, because Frieren's an elf, the rest of her party were humans, so they all get old and die, and she has to like come to terms with, well, I spent all this time with these people, but I never understood them. And so she kind of builds up a new adventuring party over the series, and focuses a lot more on understanding the people she's spending her time with, and not viewing time as just sort of a thing that passes for eternity with no meaning, but as something that's precious.
Well, damn, I'm sold.
Like I said, it's very wholesome. I don't want to judge it on attempt to judge it on any sort of objective scale. Like, I'm not going to claim that it's a masterpiece or anything like that, because I have my own particular tastes, but that doesn't make me a good critic.
Okay.
But I very much enjoyed it. Yeah, it's very nice. In terms of animation, another thing I really liked about it is it's just very warm. Color palette, animation style, it all contributes to like a very nice, cozy feeling. And there is elements of like action and peril too. So if you want something a bit more actiony, that does play into it. There are action or fighting scenes in most of the episodes, but there's also a lot of just, let's all just have a nice friendly time.
Yeah, I won't lie. With the type of work I was doing these past few months, I could really use something that's a lot more just cozy, laid back, and talking about contemplating on things that have happened rather than I mean, I'll enjoy good action every now and then, but I will be looking forward to some things that are a little more on the chill side. Let's here, one second. Let me check in with what Dusk has been saying. Looks like we may have piqued his interest by mentioning Frieren. Let's see. I'd like to come in, but just started by cigar and wine, so I'm outside watching on my phone. Okay, cool. Well, if you do want to pop in after that, you just let me know, Dusk, and you can come in and. Oh, you made a video on the show. Okay, I'll have to check that out, Dusk. Like I said, I've been mentally and literally checked out of this sphere for a long time. So
yeah, it was a an analysis of Himmel the Hero, who is the like fighting man from Frieren's original party and sort of love interest, but it's very one-sided because Frieren is an elf.
Oh, okay.
I like to describe Frieren as a show about an autistic elf.
Once again, very sold. Let's see here. So Dusk says voice acting's good. Curious, Dusk, did you watch the dub or the sub? Let's see here. You got me to make a video again after 5 years dry spell. So okay, so was that good then? Okay. Hello, Squishy Banana Productions. How you doing? Hope you're having a good time. All right, so Frieren is an anime I'm gonna have to check out now. Also, I'm so happy that James has come over to the dark side. He is open to trying animes.
Oh, yes. For those of you who don't know the context, for a long time, I was very anti-weeb. I was okay with a very small handful of anime that didn't feel like anime. So like Cowboy Bebop doesn't really feel like anime. It just feels like a drama.
It's anime. It's like even
I know.
even taking out the noir element, it has a lot of anime tropes in it.
Fair. I was in denial, but anyway, yeah. So I was very anti-weeb, and within the last like year, I have just embraced the fact that I am a weeb.
Fair enough.
Dustquill said it was the subs, not the dub, that he watched for Frieren.
Okay. Oh, and also, I do know that because when I started to check back in to everything, James did send me a message. He did watch one of my recommendations, which I'm so happy about.
Oh yes, I watched Black Lagoon.
Oh yeah.
That was a very good show, although the second season hurt. It is very depressing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get used to that. Anyway,
right.
the only thing I've like weeb related I kept up with, is I just still read One Piece. That's about it. That's about it. After all these years, I got into One Piece and I was like 12 years old. I've still read it like religiously ever since. And I'm 20 and I'm 24, about to be 25 this year.
It's still going, eh?
Well, yeah, it's still going, but I talked about this with Edgy the other night. What we're dealing with is like the final arc of one. It says it's called the Final Saga. So like we are getting into like we're getting into like the end game of One Piece. And the thing about One Piece that's interesting is like the reason I like it above like other manga or an anime or whatever is like One Piece, unlike other, because like say what you will about manga, they kind of have the same problem comic books have, in that they have to like find a new threat, they have to make something up to like force the hero to get stronger or whatever, or they're stronger than the last enemy you fought, even though that enemy was like also super strong. They had to keep like making up new threats and to raise the stakes or whatever. That's what a lot of like animes and mangas do. With One Piece, say what you will about Oda, what Oda does is like he really does like set up things years prior and then actually gives them payoffs. Because at the end of the day, the thing that separates One Piece from other shonen manga is it's not just I gotta become the strongest by fighting these guys and getting stronger. That is a part of it. But another part of One Piece that's really good is the genuine world building and mystery that they build up on. And like so many people like to say, oh, it's about like goofy pirate adventures. Yeah, but like if you actually look into the lore of One Piece, it's extremely dystopian. It's extremely fucked up. It's an extremely fucked up world that they live in. And right now, the people are like, oh, One Piece isn't going to end that soon. I'm like, yeah, it is, because they're revealing stuff that they set up literally over a decade ago. So like they're actually finally revealing shit. It's like, yeah, the stuff that we set up like literally over 15 years ago, we're finally getting we're actually getting our resolutions for. So Oda is serious about ending the series soon. I think he has a good 5 years left in One Piece, and then it'll finally end. I think.
One Piece has done what The Simpsons cannot.
Yeah, because again, like it hasn't done everything perfectly, because there are some problems with it that I noticed for again it going on for so long. But yeah, I really do like it is. strange because, like, again, not like Dragon Ball where it's like, oh, we have the super mega Dragon Balls. We got to defeat this mega super dude from the multiverse. I'm like, yeah, I kind of seen what Goku can do. I don't really, no offense to Goku, but like I've kind of seen the extent of his character. I've seen everything you have to offer. It doesn't really get interesting from here. Same thing with Bleach. Same thing with Naruto, where you got to manufacture conflicts, and things get insane and crazy. With One Piece, it's like, yeah, we're revealing stuff that we actually set up. It's all tying back together. It's not a traditional story of a shonen protagonist. But it's still a shonen show, I guess. That's the best way to put it. Yeah, like I still watch it religiously. I still have a lot of fun with it. A lot of stuff being revealed. A lot of stuff I'm looking forward to. Recently, Oda blue-balled us. Because basically it was like literally like months. Basically like the last few chapters of One Piece have been like, a character called Dr. Vegapunk, who like again has been built up throughout the entire series as like the smartest person on the planet. And the entire few months has been like him revealing a message that reveals so much about the world of One Piece that we didn't know about. And then right before he was about to reveal another big thing about the world that people have been asking about, like message cut out. So I'm like, he's really edging us until he really wants the series to end. The time they tried to get away from Goku, fans rioted until he came back to love and look main protect. Goku got away from Gohan. Well, the thing about that is it wasn't even really like fan outrage because a lot of the fans expected Gohan to be the new main character. It was mostly the editors at Shonen Jump. They were like, yeah, Goku's really popular. Bring him back. And like he tried to like balance it out with Gohan and Goku, but yeah, eventually just like, yeah, Goku's just the main character again. He tried, but it's like, yeah, editors kept saying more Goku, more Goku. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I tried. Yeah, but that's One Piece. I do recommend One Piece. I know it's long. I know it takes forever, and if you don't have the time for it, that's fine. But like, you genuinely do get enthralled with the story. And what makes One Piece funnier is the more you learn more about the world, so do the characters. But also the fact that a lot of the characters don't care either. Like Luffy doesn't care about like the revelation of what happened to the world. It's like, yeah, it's kind of whatever. Oh, my dad's like the leader of like the resistance. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I don't care, but okay, cool.
Hey, I can relate.
Oh shit. It was corpo fuckery. Yeah, it was a whole list of things, but ultimately, Toriyama also didn't plan things out. He was infamous for like saying, "Oh yeah, you got 3 weeks to make a new panel." A new manga pages. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna goof off until like the last 3 days, and then I'll come up with a story.
Hey, that is sometimes how the best ideas are formed.
Toriyama was a legend. He will be missed. Dear God.
But it is one of those weird things where it's like if you're ever into creative things, it's like sometimes having too much time is worse than having a deadline.
Yeah.
Because the deadline can be the thing that puts the fire underneath your feet.
Also, speaking of comic books, another comic I started reading again after years. Well, not years, but a while of not reading it, and realized how much I loved it. Have you guys ever heard of Bone?
No.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've never read it though.
Yeah, like Bone, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated like indie comics ever made. So basically, imagine this. This is gonna sound weird. Imagine if Charlie Brown and the Peanuts gang were in Lord of the Rings.
I dig it.
That's kind of what Bone is. And basically, it's like these three. But it feels like these characters from a comic strip or whatever went into this world where it's like, oh, it's basically Lord of the Rings with like a talking animals, a princess who needs to reclaim the throne, an ancient conspiracy, in order to stop the magic and and like ancient dragons from coming back to life and like taking over the world. And it's like, yeah, it's both funny and very enthralling, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. It is one of my favorite comic books ever. Unironically, it is that good. I highly recommend Bone. It is really, really, really good. It's done by Jeff Smith. He has a long history of like animation and like comic book stuff. And I used to read it all the time when I was a kid. I read them. I read them as an adult. It's a really good book series. I highly recommend it. The only part about it I don't really love is the ending. That's the only part I don't like. Because like the story starts off with like these 3 bone cousins, right? And bones are like these cartoon like creatures, right? That's what bones are. And these 3 bone cousins, there's Phony, Smiley, and Phone Bone. Phone Bone's more or less the main character. And they are run out of Boneville because Phony is a lot like Eddie from Ed, Edd and Eddy, where his scams go horribly wrong and people hate him for it. So they basically got run out of town because he tried to run for mayor, and we don't ever see or really get details about what happened. But let's just say it was so bad they got ran out of town. So like after that happens, they're like trying to find out where they are, and they end up finding themselves in the valley. And in the valley, there's dragons, there's animals that talk, and all this weird, crazy stuff that happens. They end up making a lot of friends. They end up becoming heroes. Bone finds the love of his life. And it seems like they're gonna stay there and like become like again rulers because they basically like help resurrect the kingdom or whatever. And for some reason, Phone Bone and his cousins at the end of the story decide to go back home, and I'm like, why? Why would you want to go back home? Like even like the old lady Grandma Ben tells them like, hey, yeah. You don't need to go back home. You guys will be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You guys will live like kings forever. Like, why would you want to go back home? They hate you there.
That is a good sales pitch.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, like, why would you want to go back home? And I'm like, oh, but like you have corn dogs. But yeah, Phone, like you have the love of your life here. You could potentially be a king. Like, why would you want to go back home? There's really no good explanation they give. And I'm sorry, I hate it. I want them to stay, goddammit. If they ever like do an adaptation of Bone, I want them to stay. It's a very good series. It's very funny. It's action packed. It's got everything. It's literally a borderline perfect story except for the ending. That's it. Like that's in my opinion, it's a perfect story. I don't say that for a lot of stuff, but it's a perfect story in my opinion.
Very cool. I'm glad that I'm formulating a list now of things I gotta look into. So is there anything that's coming out that everybody's excited for? Because the one thing that I'm really happy about of just deciding to check in recently and get back into the swing of things is it just so happened to time it pretty well that we got a teaser for Arcane Season 2, which I am very stoked for.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be the last season too.
Yes, and I'm happy they're doing that. I'm happy they're, going for a complete story and not something that's probably, I don't think that's going to end on like this huge cliffhanger. I think they're going to wrap it all up. And I've had a feeling, and I'm thinking that this trailer solidifies that feeling a little more. I don't, even though that, you got the games and everything, they've already confirmed that the games and the show are separate canon. And I don't think that Jinx is walking out of this show alive. I think not only her, she's getting affected pretty bad by that shimmer. You got the entire town after you got the entirety of Piltover after you, and she's probably not making many more friends in Zaun. I don't see any way that she walks away from that show breathing. Though, as we also saw in one of the teasers, just because you stop breathing in Arcane doesn't mean that you can't come back. You just might be a little more fluffy than last time.
Jeez.
Also, I forgot I didn't mention this. Edgy, Salem. Did you see Godzilla -1?
Yes, I did.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that was really fucking
Okay.
good. My God,
I'm so happy this is not a hot take, but I'm so happy everybody that there's so many people who say this. That is the greatest Godzilla movie ever made.
I mean, I'm not even a Godzilla fan, and I agree with you.
Yes. And when people are like, yeah, even the original, I am one of the biggest Godzilla fans you'll ever meet. Yes, even better than the original.
So I had the benefit. I recently watched the original Godzilla, and I had the benefit of not having nostalgia to kind of like cloud my judgment, I guess. That's not to say Godzilla is a bad movie. It was a fantastic film, but there is a lot of 50s sci-fi camp that
cheesiness. It's cheesiness. It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna fucking happen.
like the whole oxygen destroyer like really took me out of it. I was like, oh, that's goofy.
I mean, like you have like what's what I'm looking for? You have like War of the Worlds, for example. Yeah, it's like one of the greatest, like, I guess, like sci-fi horror stories ever told. But like the 50s movie was goofy. It was goofy. It was silly.
Oh yeah.
But like yeah, and like so many people and I'm glad people are realizing this, because like people are saying like, oh yeah, look at how much this movie cost. It only cost about 150 million. The Godzilla -1 only cost 150 million. It looks amazing.
I thought it was 15 million.
Yeah, it was 15.
I thought it was 150.
No,
it was like I think here's the crazy part. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think one of the quotes from the director was somebody asked him about, how he was able to make it for 15 million. And don't use BS saying that this has happened. I only remember hearing this somewhere. Apparently, he responded with, "I wish I had 15 million for that film."
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure like the estimated is 15 million, but they actually did it on a lower budget than that.
Well,
what I've heard.
Either way, like, sorry, I misquoted that. Sorry, but like either way, like, again, like the main reason someone said, "How did you do this?" Like, yeah, I do remember this though. They said like, "Oh yeah, they planned it out. They actually planned everything out, made sure every part of the cost went into it properly, and all that other bullshit." And I'm like, I'm so glad. I'm so glad there was a movie that shows like, yeah, CGI can be really well done. You can do CGI well on a relatively decent budget. You don't need a whole lot of money for this.
It does beg the question, like, and I think that a lot of people are getting privy as to where a lot of this money is going with Hollywood films, but it's like the amount of ungodly amounts of money that go into Hollywood productions, and you see the end product, you just have to shake your head, especially when you compare like modern Marvel movies to a Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys seen? Speaking of which, have you guys seen what was it called? It was called. I'm looking up right now. Have you guys seen Logan the Wolf?
No.
Never
Okay, so like look this up on YouTube, and it is a fan. And this is such an awesome idea. I'm surprised Marvel hasn't done this before. But it's a fan film where they pretty much put the X-Men during the era of Vikings. And you have motherfucking Viking Wolverine. And dear God, it is the most badass thing I've seen in a goddamn, like, and not to mention the fight scenes are so fucking good. They are so fucking good. Like, yeah, this blows like every like superhero movie I've seen the last 5 years out of the water. That's how good the fight scenes are. Hang on, let me show you a link to it. It's really fucking good. Hang on. And the best part is
Wolverine. There can only be so much testosterone in it available for the human body.
Hang on, let me show you. Let me give you a link in the chat. Hang on. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, genuinely.
Here, actually, while you were searching for that,
no, I have it. I'm just trying to like join the chat real quick.
oh no. What I'm saying is, I need to let my dog out real quick, or else she is going to continue to whine and complain. Give me 2 minutes.
Right.
Alrighty, and tell people more about this Wolverine Viking Slim. This has piqued my interest.
Yeah, so like basically like you know how people say like, oh yeah, we finally got like brutal Wolverine and like Logan or whatever. And don't get me wrong, Logan's a good movie. Hey, Game of Power, how you doing? And don't get me wrong, Logan's a good movie, but like, no, you guys haven't seen brutal Wolverine till you've seen Wolverine. Till you see like the fucking Logan the Wolf. It is so fucking good. The blood, the gore, everything, it works so goddamn well. And again, like the action, like the choreography is so goddamn amazing. And again, you don't need like it proves you don't need like a bunch of flash and a lot of you don't need a whole lot of flash and all that shit to have a good fight scene. You just gotta like have good choreography. And I think it completely succeeded in that. The story's kind of interesting because like they're praying to the gods to get these powers or whatever. You get like basically a take on Magneto or whatever, which is also pretty good. Yeah, if you want straight up Berserker Wolverine, this is a great place to find it. The X-Men Origins Wolverine game was pretty decent. Is it wrong that I grew up and to this day that X-Men Origins Wolverine game, movie is like a guilty pleasure. Like it's not good. It's far from a good movie, but it's got good stuff in it. A lot of good stuff in it. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing. There's plenty of movies that like are not well-made movies, but they're still entertaining.
Like the actor who plays Sabretooth in that movie was perfect. I wish they like got him again to play Sabretooth. He was really good. He was really good at Sabretooth.
I'm trying to think of what I'm looking forward to answer Salem's question. I don't know. I don't really look at film and TV in terms of what's upcoming. That's mostly video games.
I saw The Acolyte. Star Wars The Acolyte.
I never cared about Star Wars, and Episode 8 killed any burgeoning interest I might have had in it.
Forgive me for my absence.
Welcome back.
All right. I also had to grab a can of creamy coconut Dr. Pepper, which I don't drink a lot of pop, but this stuff is like crack for me, unfortunately. Yeah, here's the thing. It does not have a strong coconut taste. You know how Dr. Pepper has their cream soda now? The weird thing is this creamy coconut Dr. Pepper tastes more like cream soda than Dr. Pepper's cream soda.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's got like a strong coconut smell, but it's like when I'm drinking it, it's like this is just cream soda, but it's good cream soda.
Yeah, I was just saying how I like the I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to be negative, but like I saw The Acolyte or whatever.
Yeah, no.
It's like because I just remember everyone thought it was gonna be like, oh yeah, it's gonna have to go over like it's gonna be like a Dark Sidious Dark Plague series. I'm like, you guys have a little too much hope, don't you?
Yeah, I especially, I don't want to get too deep into it. The only thing I'll say is I heard, Star Wars Deep Space Witches, and I thought, man, that would be so cool. But the fact that it's being run by Disney, it's somehow going to be cringe, isn't it?
Edgy, it is unironically like the cringiest thing I've seen from Star Wars in years. And that's saying a lot. That bums me out so much
because it's like I should not. The word after hearing Deep Space Star Wars Witches should be cool and badass, not.
Well, they're not like the they're not really like the Nathmora witches. They're more like the what's the best word? Yeah, they're more like the nose piercing, latte drinking, what's your sign witches.
I see.
They're more like that one. They're unironically a lesbian witch commune, like unironically, like I'm not joking. The two main characters are literally they literally say, "Oh yeah, we made these two characters because like I made them from the Force, and I made them, and you carried them through your womb or whatever." Like, okay, that's not how the Force works, but okay. Like even Anakin's a special case. That's the point.
Yeah, I was gonna say it took a long time for the fan base to accept Anakin. Don't think that. I mean that the way Anakin was conceived. Don't think that we're gonna accept another.
and even then, Anakin wasn't necessarily. Well, Anakin was kind of born when Plagueis fucked around with the Force, and in response, the Force created Anakin as a response to Plagueis trying to manifest that. So at the end of the day, it was kind of like, oh yeah, Plagueis tried to make a child through the Force, but it couldn't manipulate it quite properly. So the Force itself created Anakin not only as an answer to that, but a way to literally bring balance to the Force altogether. The chosen one, if you will. They're just like, no, we just had a surrogate. That's all we did. We had a surrogate. They're from my DNA, but you carried them. It's like it's so dumb. It's so cringe. There's like a ceremony where like the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. It's so dumb.
I heard that, and I just can we move on? Here's the thing. I just think it's funny. That's all I'm gonna say. I do, but the thing is, I can't find it funny just because I love things like witchcraft and usually when Star Wars has dabbled with like witches, it's usually been really cool. So it breaks my heart that it's like that it's this goofy and stuff.
Actually, I hate to like bop out, but I gotta go. I have to go cook dinner real quick.
Okay.
I might come back. I'm making quesadillas. I might come back. I don't know. If not, it's fun talking to you again, dude. Happy to see you back. Happy to see you're okay.
Yeah.
And if you need anything, just DM me or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, sure thing. And thanks for coming on. And yeah, if we're still streaming and you want to come back on, by all means.
All right. Talk to you later, broski. Peace.
Yeah, oh,
Dust said he's ready to come in.
I tried to I thought I sent him a link. Let me see what's going on.
Well, while you're doing that, I guess I can talk about like the one piece of media I'm looking forward to coming up.
Yeah.
Because you asked that question, and I didn't have an answer, but the big heads behind the first two Elder Scrolls games, Ted Peterson and Julian LaFay, are making a new game looks like it's going to be Daggerfall 2, basically. It's called The Wayward Realms, and it seems pretty interesting.
Very excited.
Yeah. Have you played the older Elder Scrolls games?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's been a while, but yeah. And it appears we have a wild Dustquill joining us.
Testing. Am I in?
Yes, sir,
yes. You are very much on.
Excelente. Oh, what is up? It's great to see you back in town, Salem.
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful to be back. I'll catch people up on my job privately. I don't want to talk about my last job very much at all.
Oh yeah, that's very understandable.
But I'm pretty much back for the most part. I'm still I won't be fully back until a little bit because I got to just get acclimated to my new job. Even though that I'm really, really enjoying my new job. And once all that's settled, hopefully not only doing fun stuff, but I really, now that I've got, a big chunk of my life back, I do hope to return to my ambitions for like my, creative projects, like whether it's writing comics or what have you. I want to return to that because that last job fried my brain so hard. I think I told James about it behind the scenes, but like my brain was just so fried that it's like when I tried to read, I in the height of my previous job, I was so miserable. I was trying to like read a manga just because I was just trying to force myself to just do something I enjoyed before.
Right.
And it took me 5 hours to get through one volume of a manga.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was because I had such a hard time. Like I had to read the words and I had to figure out, I had to keep repeating to myself what I just read. And then I had to like, it's hard to explain, but because
That's
it's all going on in my brain, but it's
like a whole other level of mental exhaustion right there.
Yeah, like I had to like, okay, who is saying these words? Even with like the speech bubbles right next to the character, I would have to remind myself who is speaking. Yeah.
Who's saying this again? Wait a minute.
Yeah. And then like sometimes like just the pictures, like I would have to tell myself, like I would have to like study the picture for a few bits, not to appreciate the art, but to figure out what in the hell's going on.
Try to actually see, wait, what's happening right now?
Yeah, exactly. And maybe because, like I said, I did pick up the Witch and the Beast manga, and it's fun so far. But I will admit, maybe it was not the easiest one to get back into because, the art is really cool, but it is super, super detailed. So sometimes an entire manga page is just nothing but artwork, and it is a little overwhelming at first, especially if like maybe a few more that you had read prior are a little more simplistic in the style. So, but yeah. So here, and I'll turn to you, Dusk, pretty soon. But I do want to ask James to finish up what he was talking about with this new game that's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's not going to be coming out like soon. They're running the Kickstarter right now, which is to fund a full year of development where they pay their team a salary, because right now they're just working on a volunteer basis. But after approximately a year, more than likely, I'm going to guess 1.5 to 2 years, they plan to have an alpha build ready for the Kickstarter backers, and then also that they can present to publishers to try and fish for extra funding to finish the game. But what they're promising, like something really big. So the idea is, instead of your sort of traditional Bethesda RPG where you have a main quest and then you have kind of side content that you do alongside the main quest, it seems like the goal is we're just going to plop you in a world, and there's going to be things that happen in the world that are scripted, but they're not tied to like a main quest. And so the intention is to create a game wherein your choices truly matter, because instead of just following the branching dialogue paths to get to different endings, the world just kind of shapes, or maybe not the entire world, but the quests you get, the story you experience is actually shaped around your character, their stats, what you do in each given quest. It seems to be, or their goal is to make it a lot more open and a lot more to make the systems more reactive to your character concept.
Okay.
So that's one part I really like. Really, I don't expect them to execute on everything they're promising. I'd be happy if they just made Daggerfall 2 but 3D, like full 3D graphics, because I love Daggerfall. But it is interesting. We'll see how far they're.
Yeah,
actually
don't
able to
lie.
get.
You just want to see the tavern wenches in 3D.
That didn't even occur to me.
Jeez.
Listen, I fully admit I'm a grognard. I love dungeon crawling. If you just give me random quests that send me into big labyrinthian dungeons, I'm happy.
Okay. Alrighty, so
But yeah, so that's interesting. And then one last video game thing, just to kind of finish up on the stuff I've been enjoying. There's a new game that came out recently that I showed you, The Great Rebellion. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. I genuinely want to play that. That was a lot of fun. But aside from the humor, the game actually just looks like it looks like it's a return to like some of those old school like arcade shooters, and I do love those.
Yeah, it looks kind of like
Platformer / arcade shooter.
Contra-ish.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, The Great Rebellion is a roguelite Contra-ish twin stick shooter. So you go through randomly generated levels, you shoot robots, you get upgraded gear. But the game is also really funny because it just satirizes the current state of the corporate West and
You can say the world.
cultural trends. I think the specific cultural references are more rooted in the West than elsewhere in the world,
Okay.
which is why I say the corporate West.
Yeah.
But it's a goofy game. It made me laugh very hard several
Oh God!
times.
The little bits that you showed me, I was howling.
Oh, you like people of the opposite sex that are close to your age and attractive? I'm just gonna auto download 2 terabytes of plus size gay porn. Have fun.
Jeez.
And that's
Oh, no,
something that's
I-
actually
what I-
in
what
the
I-
game.
what I had-
I'm not joking. That's in the game.
What
All
I
right.
remember from that night that still had me cracking up was you had me reading it a little bit, and then it's like anytime that the main character spoke, you had me throw on an Alex Jones voice.
Yeah, it's goofy. If you don't take it seriously, and like just say this is goofy.
Oh, yeah, that's-
game. It's a great time.
That's it. That's a game that I how do I describe it? That's a game that even though I don't drink very much anymore, I would definitely be cracking open a beer with that. That's one of those games, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the gameplay is also really fun.
Yeah.
But then again, I also enjoy roguelikes and occasionally bullet hells. So
Yeah. I want to return to the world of video games as well. And the only downside is like, I really want like a I do like, there's quite a few like visual novels that I have fun with. But I really, really, really want to return to I'm guessing like I'm not looking for like a game play specifically. I just want to bump into the aesthetic again. I want something Bloodborne-y, kind of like Victorian or Gothic horror again. Because that's what I've missed the most, is delving into stuff like that in my long-term absence. I miss that aesthetic because I love that aesthetic, and I used to surround myself in that aesthetic all the time, and I haven't seen it in forever, and it makes me big sad.
Damn.
Hello, Gaming Power. I'm sorry I didn't not acknowledge you. I think you may have jumped in when I was letting my dog out. You only cared about the original trilogy when it comes to Star Wars. That is a very, very fair opinion to have. I personally do like the prequels, but
I like the
to me, the gospel is the original trilogy. It's like, it's like nothing can contradict the original trilogy in my mind. And let's see here. Okay, so let's return to you, Dusk. Tell me what what I've missed out on, but also like what you're looking forward to, what you've been enjoying. But it actually, well, before we get to that, now that you're on here, do you need to gush about Fearin a little bit?
He just had to roundabout back to that, huh?
I mean, that's the thing. It's like I was in the middle of saying all that, and I was like, oh, you know what? I should probably give him the opportunity to gush if he needs to, because with all the comments you left there, it seems like you are very, very passionate about the show.
I mean, it kind of came out and kind of around the perfect time and the perfect way for the perfect studio, because there were just a lot of things that lined up for it. For one thing, Grand Fantasy has been like falling more or less like a little bit behind in like public media. Like no one's really been doing high-end Grand Fantasy, like Lord of the Rings or anything of that nature. And I keep hearing Madhouse, the studio that did the anime, has been not in the greatest of circumstances currently, even though they are having like hit anime once in a while. They were kind of like falling down in grace, and it's also just a topic that's not really done all too much. The idea of immortality, time, and the importance of appreciating life and all that stuff. And we have been in an absolute saturation and action and just action and power scaling stuff. And here comes Frieren with a very slow-paced, character-driven story and having it very slow and methodical and completely and utterly like traditional animation with no 3D anywhere, just absolute insane hand-drawn animation that I don't think has really been done quite like the way it's been done in Frieren. And it's just all little bits of detail in both the writing and the writing and the drawing and the animating. It's just very it's like us being like in our late 20s, potentially early 40s, maybe in pushing to 50s for some people that would watch it. They're kind of getting more used to these main like streamlined animations with all sorts of different softwares and stuff, but grew up in traditional like Disney and Studio Ghibli animations, and then just I don't know where here comes this fresh new IP, pretty much going back to that method of animation, and it just blows the mind. It's like watching the Frieren anime is like watching an old Studio Ghibli movie.
Wow, that's quite a compliment. Old Ghibli. Oh, now we've got James onto the Weeb bandwagon. Maybe I should ask James, have you seen any Studio Ghibli films?
The only Studio Ghibli film I've seen in memory is Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh,
that's a great
Spirited Away when I was like a kid, and
that was like my first
network,
right
but I don't remember anything other than like I know I've seen at least part of it. That's all I remember.
Wow, you of course.
Grave of the Fireflies is the only one I've seen.
Yeah, of course, the one that comes to your mind is the one that just gut punches you.
Like if I were to keep going about the animation of Frieren, I'm going to say you have never seen anyone put on a jacket in animation like you see one of the characters, Stark, puts on a jacket. Like, goddamn, I can only imagine the amount of frames was putting just to him putting on that damn thing. It's great.
That's that. I'm almost skeptical of that because I've seen Steins Gate.
Steins. You know, I've actually never watched Steins Gate. It's on the list. But I've never watched
you got it. Actually, you and James. That might actually be one that you find very interesting. Steins Gate is a really, really good watch. It's one of those shows that's a little hard to sum up.
Kaiju number 8. Not yet. I have not watched.
No, I haven't watched. I haven't even heard of that. That's my problem. Is a lot of the stuff that's been going on the past few months, I'm not even going to have heard of.
Excuse me.
Castlevania Mirror of Fate. I shall look into that. And it seems James has sent me a recommendation.
Oh.
It's something I've seen a little bit of. I haven't played it, so I can't attest to its quality. But you said you were looking for something Bloodborne-ish, and I had remembered seeing that game.
The Last Faith. I shall look into this.
Are you interested in racing games?
Not terribly, but I'm game if it's
Bloodborne Kart.
Someone was literally going to make Bloodborne Kart, but that didn't fly with copyright, so they kind of like finagled the IP a little bit to have it be its own thing, but it's essentially just Bloodborne Kart.
This is an amazing idea.
It's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It's literally just eldritch gothic horror, but Mario Kart.
That's hilarious. Wasn't that when Sekiro
that is
was
a
announced?
game that you stream with your friends having some beers. That
Wasn't that meme spawned when Sekiro was announced?
I think.
Uh,
I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure when it started, but I know it's just a thing now. Actually, I think it just released like a month or two ago on Steam.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, and now, okay. So now you talked about Theater and Dusk. Is there anything upcoming that that you're looking forward to?
And I'm looking forward to. I do actually have a number of things I'm actually kind of interested in. For one, we are getting a new season for RE0. Can't wait for that one. As far as video games go, though, oh boy, there is a game I'm very much interested in, mostly because I love mechas, and that's a game called Mecha Break. Cannot wait for that one to come out.
When we're talking mecha, are we talking like Neon Genesis mecha, or are we talking BattleTech mecha?
Not BattleTech Neon. It's. I mean, they've already they released in like there's already like the coming soon page on Steam for it, and like 2 of the different shots they got for a preview is already them like basically custom making a freaking Gundam.
Okay. Okay, so a Gundam mecha. That's what I was getting at. I was like, are we talking like vehicle mecha? Or are we talking like giant robot man mecha?
Giant robot man mecha.
Awesome.
But it's actually sort of like a little bit of like a co-op battle royale situation where it does also have PvE options with different classes of
extraction shooter is what I hear.
And actually, now that you bring that up, that's a game that I wanted to get into, but I completely forgot about it because of the past few months. I really want to try that From Software mecha game.
Armored Core 6?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I fucking love Armored Core 6. I love it and I hate it, but I love it.
Right now, I'm gonna have to get going here. I have D&D to run, so thanks for having me on, Salem.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I'll catch you later, man.
Yeah, see ya.
Right now, I'm trying to 100% Armored Core 6, and the only thing I got left needed to do is S rank all the missions, which,
Yeah, I won't lie. I'm for Armor Core 6. I'm mostly just looking forward to building my own little mecha. I just
you would still need to like do all of the missions because you need to beat like all the bosses and all 3 of the different endings in order to get all the pieces. And of course, you need to scrounge around the maps and find the lootables and the special assassination targets in order to get the pieces too. A lot of things you got to do to unlock shit. Still satisfying to make a good build though.
Gaming with Power 52 says he's kind of interested in Expedition 33, especially since it's an Xbox making an RPG. I never heard of Expedition 33.
I didn't hear about that one either. Though another game I'm really looking forward to is one called Crete. I want to say Crete. Crete, like the Greek island.
Okay.
That one's going to be absolutely interesting. Imagine if you turn like a typical FromSoft, like Dark Souls type of gameplay, but make it more roguelike in the play game in the loop, and then make it all, I guess you'll call the style biopunk. Essentially, imagine taking a Dark Souls style game and just slap shit. What's the name of the artist that inspired Alien?
Oh, what was his name? Geiger?
Geiger, yeah. Just imagine taking Geiger art and just make a Dark Souls game about it. It's fucking great.
Well, holy
it's
shit.
It's all about going onto this island and killing enemies to steal their DNA, die, and then get reborn back at home base to then use that DNA to augment yourself, and then go back to the island to get more DNA. And everything's got like all that smooth, very alien exoskeleton, eldritch shit going on, using a bone sword, a fleshy shield, and like a bone shooting rifle and shit.
Holy shit.
And the best part of it is they're also planning for co-op modes too. Oh, that's gonna be wild. The friggin' enemy designs are fantastic as well. I love it.
That just wow! What a sales pitch!
What a sales pitch, right?
Holy shit!
In a couple of days, new DLC for Age of Wonders 4 is going to come out. I am definitely getting that because that's all about Eldritch stuff. Can't wait. That's going to be coming out on the 18th, so in like 3 days, that's going to be coming out. And I guess would it be narcissistic of myself to say I'm actually kind of looking forward to doing more work on some of my own stuff and getting that stuff released, I guess?
Oh, no, not at all. Because like I said earlier, being away for so long, I'm looking forward to returning to, being able to make my stuff again, because it's just, it's, that's the thing. It's like,
boy, let me tell you, I've had some ups and downs in the creative field recently when it comes to stuff.
Yeah, my problem was like I couldn't be creative at all during these past few months. It just, my occupation would not allow it at all.
Oh boy, just wait until I tell you about a little thing called Trench Crusade. Goddamn, I got myself in deep with that one.
Trench Crusade, what's that?
I'm going to imagine you're already familiar with like Warhammer stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the little spin-off tabletop game, Mordheim.
Yeah,
it's a tabletop squad base squad-based strategy game developed by the same guy who did that game.
Okay.
And essentially, it's a alternative history fantasy thing where, what if during the First Crusade, the Knights Templar went into Jerusalem and essentially got tempted and summoned a portal straight to hell, and now demons infested the world. And then bunch of shit happens.
The way you just describe things is just
and then a bunch of shit happens, and now we're in the time frame of World War One, and the remnants of humanity and the literal forces of hell are fighting trench warfare against one another. That's the whole synopsis.
you know that the thing from Parks and Rec when Chris Pratt is telling Ron Swanson about the meat tornado.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you had me at meat tornado. That's just everything that you're telling me about. You're just, it's just.
Well, it's not all. It's not all, sunshine and daisies. There was a controversy recently because the game didn't have its official Discord server. They went with a fan magazine Discord server that was hosting channels for a bunch of different other projects, and some people from Warhammer went to there, becoming disillusioned with Games Workshop, that whole spiel. And of course, the culture war leaked into there, and people were starting to get banned because of stuff going on Twitter and having bad vibes, all that shit. And then it got so bad that the channels for Trench Crusade specifically got shut down. And I'm like, fuck this shit. This game is too cool to have this nonsense going on. I made my own Discord server, and it is to say I'm not the leader of it anymore, but that thing is well over 1,000 people now. So yeah,
that's all right. You'll make your own Discord server with blackjack and hookers.
I mean, essentially, and as far as I'm aware of, that people are still talking about that Discord server, even though the official Trench Crusade server has been made. People still flock to the one I made and still talk about it. So might go back there later, but I got too much going on that, and there was a lot of shit going on within my server that I'm just like, you know what? This isn't worth it for me at the moment to handle. I just put off to somebody else. I left, and I'm trying to get my own life in order.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you can't even. The weird thing is, you can't even have fun if you don't even have your basics tied down.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
But,
so, what else is new and fun? And I mean, I don't know if you were here for this, but I did mention I am the one thing that I saw recently that had me all hyped was that teaser for Arcane.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. I haven't watched the original Arcane season, and I'm probably not really interested because I've played League of Legends in college. It was fun while playing with friends, but on my own, I don't like League. It's of course, very toxic, but I just don't find the gameplay all that fun. I much prefer Heroes of the Storm more. Sad, that game does not deserve its developers. Going to say, it does not deserve to be a Blizzard game. But yeah, well, I just don't have much interest in League.
I would really recommend it because I haven't played League in forever. And I did not watch Arcane when it first came out just because it did not interest me. But the writing, it is one of the greatest shows of the past decade. It really is.
Oh boy, just wait until you actually watch Free Run.
But Arcane is exquisitely written. It's and it's especially nowadays where it's like we just have such cartoonish perspectives of good and evil. Arcane does the actually does the thing where it's like it maturely looks at the conflict from, well, your protagonists and antagonists are really all about perspective. Because, like, if you look at it from, like, Silco's point of view, who is the antagonist, he is doing the right thing. If you look at it from Vi's point of view, she is doing the right thing. If you look at it from the console's point of view, they're doing the right thing. It is all about the perspective of the situation. It's kind of because at the end of the day, like, there are good and bad people on all the sides, but the thing is, it's like, it's not one of those things where it's like, it's the edgy gray anti-hero. It's just people trying to do what they think is right to amend the conflict. And,
ironically, I kind of like the way Frieren does the topic of good versus evil, because it kind of does the very, typical high grand fantasy good and evil where, people good, demons bad. And he sticks with that. But he used that also as a foundation to, like, well, not only just explain why that's the case, but also does little things here and there to sort of like play with it, with that idea. Still ultimately saying, yeah, demons are fucking evil without a doubt, but it does explore a lot with what you can do with that sort of alignment.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting. And it's not pretty like a good versus evil, like how we traditionally would think about it. It's more of, yeah, no, the demons are evil to us because by nature they are so different. Us as species cannot ever really get along.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
But yeah, with everybody talking so highly of Fear, and I'm definitely gonna check that out. But as for you, Dusk,
if you do, I probably will also recommend watching my my video essay about one of the characters from there.
I shall, but I think I want to watch the show first.
Bit of a warning. It's one season, but it's a 2-core, so you're essentially watching like 2 seasons worth of episodes in one. I think it's like 28 episodes.
Oh, okay.
In total. Yeah.
But for you, Dusk, I really would recommend to not give Arcane a pass, because because the thing is, I don't know if you heard me say this earlier, but yeah, the lore of Arcane, it does divert from the lore of like League of the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some minor differences, and Blizzard made it. Was it? Oh my gosh.
Riot.
Yeah, Riot. They made it clear that these are 2 different continuities.
I actually have not heard that one before. That's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some overlap here and there between the game lore and this lore, but the cool thing is you can walk into Arcane without ever playing League at all or knowing anything about any of the lore, and you could get just as invested.
Fair enough.
And yeah, and the thing is, it's like, especially like when you read the character descriptions of like League characters and some of the lore on like their websites and such, you know that they've got good writers there. And it seems like Arcane was like the version of them finally cracking their knuckles and being like, okay, now I get to actually do what I want to do.
Right.
And yeah, it is phenomenal. In my opinion, Silco is one of the greatest antagonists in forever. Like, right. He is just. I don't want to give too much away, but the thing is, it's like you've got a lot of the heroes in that show who, nearing the end of it, are not doing very heroic things to get to their goals, and then you've got the villains nearing the end who are showing a lot more humanity and growth when you get to the end.
Uh,
And so I'm
Jesus,
kind of
somebody
curious
friggin-
what's going to happen in the second season,
Mhm.
because I will say this though. Well, I think the second season's going to be wrapped up in a nice little bow. The way season 1 ended was jaw dropping. Like the last few seconds, you're just
No.
like, no. Like, why would you end it there? What the hell?
Ah, what's wrong with you?
Oh no, it is so bittersweet too. And I oh god, I wish I could just gush about it with you because it's so good.
Oh,
But
man,
it's
like speaking of all that, I have actually been I've been joking with Brett from Mythoverse, and it may soon not be a joke anymore. where
speak
I
of the
was
devil,
thinking-
and he shall appear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Oh, damn.
So, what were you joking with me about?
About making a video involving Utena or Magia Bazer, making a video about her from gushing over magical girls. Now I think she's a extremely well done deconstruction of villainy, which I think would be appropriate considering the video before was talking about how Himmel was the greatest hero put to storytelling. So I think that'd be a pretty good follow-up episode.
Which, let me check. I want to check something on that actually,
Yeah.
because yeah, I told you last night that that thing was like 100 views away from cracking 1K.
Oh yeah, it did recently turn 1,000 views, didn't it?
Oh, so Dusk became famous while I was away.
I've became famous in a different number of ways for all too short of a period of time. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
Just ride the wave. It's either gonna bring you to a beautiful coral reef or a shark pit. Either way, you're still in the ocean.
1,037 views,
1,037
Damn.
views.
37 likes, no dislikes.
I guess
And
you
I
gotta show my truth is universal.
Dusk, this power is too grand. It cannot be contained by one person.
And the thing was, like, I've done YouTube before. Before I joined the army, like almost 5 years ago, I've done showcasings and interviews of indie tabletop projects, and none of them even got to like 100 views. So it's kind of surreal to have a video that I wrote the script for and narrated wound up becoming over 1,000 views. And not all that long a time, really.
That thing has only been up for like 2 weeks.
Here, 1 second while I'm.
I mean,
I do have to look something up real quick and just have it in the background.
And I've been trying to keep up with the comments as well, responding to some people that offered their own ideas and shit.
yeah, it's just honestly, dude, this is probably great. This is really great, actually. Like, you really should feel proud of yourself. You made a really good video.
It's what Himmel would have done. I did it for
Okay.
him.
I put I just realized I didn't have anything updating me on the I'm not a big sports guy with the exception of hockey, and right now we got the Stanley Cup final going on, and hopefully Florida can sweep Edmonton and Canada can continue to suffer with a 30+ year cup drought.
Jeez. The only sport I still care about is Blood Bowl.
Blood
I
Bowl.
am
Sorry, not sorry.
Blood Bowl's a spin-off from Warhammer Fantasy. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Blood Bowl 2 specifically, the best one in the series. Blood Bowl 3 sucked.
Yeah. I have been finding myself slowly getting back into basketball, oddly enough.
Well, as I always tell other people, I like playing sports. I just find watching sports boring. That's just me though.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with that opinion. I just like I'm not a big sports guy at all, but it's just for some reason hockey's the thing where it's like my lizard brain just goes off. And also like the unga bunga me versus us versus them just comes into my mind.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like,
I have to ask you something about something so because I was talking with my dad the other day about because my dad does not like modern basketball at all. His era was 80s and 90s. He told me that his biggest problem with the way the modern game is played is that it's too offense heavy. And he said that's not unique to basketball. Like that's kind of true across all sports.
I don't
Yeah.
know, just because I'm not sure if he can be it's always going to be even in hockey because it's like no matter where you're playing, you've got there's a reason why there's a goaltender there at the other end. So it's 50-50 in my opinion. Now the one thing that they're trying to change in hockey is when you compare it to like the goal scorers in recent years compared to like back in the 80s and such, like the games in the 80s would have like giant scores like 7-9 or like 6-7, a 7-6 stuff like that. Hey, come here, girl, come here. Sorry, my dog's whining. But so what they've been trying to do is like figure out how to increase the scoring a bit. And they keep mentioning this, which I think this would be a big help, but I haven't seen it really implemented yet. They want to go back. They want to take back the big baggy goalie jersey, which I agree with. That way, like, the goalie has to be right on that puck. And it's like his freaking, when he lifts his arm, the little web between his wrist and his waist isn't catching the puck, Like I, in my opinion, I think that would actually help out a lot more if they go back to the tight jerseys for the goalies that are essentially the same size of the other players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking at the Japanese league for basketball.
Oh, okay.
Well, because I actually caught a highlight of the Japanese team playing in FIBA, and I was actually very impressed by how they play because I think the biggest difference between how Japan plays basketball and how we do is that our game is more player oriented. Theirs is more team oriented.
Yeah, I was going to say the whole reason why I checked out of the NBA years ago was because it felt like guys were trying to make the highlight reel more than they were trying to win the game.
Yeah.
It's all about making the big contract monies,
Yeah.
It's all getting all the sponsorships and getting and all that other stuff. But yeah, it's like the Japanese these players, like they actually play it like it's a team sport.
Yeah.
Or which I think is, and NBA has actually started drafting some Japanese players too. Like, hold on. Let me see if there's one. Let me pull this Japan NBA. I know that I came across a video from one guy. They got Yuta Watanabe. He's one guy. Who's he playing in? Who's he playing with? Let's see. Where are you? Where are you playing for right now? He's playing for Memphis right now.
Oh.
And there's another guy, Rui Hachimura. He's playing for Washington.
Poor
not
guy.
my Washington.
He gets to come to another country, and he gets stuck in Memphis.
Yeah. Well, Hachimura is playing for Washington, not my Washington D.C. We lost the Sonics years ago.
That was actually one of my favorite memes back in 2017 when Vegas went to the Cup for the first time. And they were facing the Washington Capitals. Then they're stationed in D.C. And the meme was one one city is full of sin, vice, corruption, and villainy, and the other city is Vegas.
That is so good.
Yeah. So Brett, tell me, tell us what's something good that I may have missed out on in the past few months, and also what have you been enjoying these past few months, and what are you looking forward to? And that is comics, games, movies, shows, whatever.
I've been keeping up with the latest season of Smiling Friends, which is the new Adult Swim show.
I do need to get into that one.
Smiling Friends is great because it is so unlike every other Adult Swim show. For one, one of the creators is Zach Hadel. Most people probably know him as Psychic Pebbles on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And it's a breath of fresh air because despite it having a very twisted sense of humor, it's also very uplifting and optimistic. Like their whole job is helping other people smile, and they're not even being ironic about it. Like they're actually trying to make other people's lives better.
What an uplifting story instead of just the. It felt like maybe it was Rick and Morty or something, but it's like a lot of the stuff on Adult Swim has felt really nihilistic the past few years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. You should try out the first season, which is you could binge very easily because it's like 8 episodes, and the episodes are 10 minutes apiece. Yeah.
Wasn't it like before I got picked up or something?
I don't think so. But now right now they're in the middle of their second season. Let's see what else. I've played a lot of Deep Rock Galactic, Thick with Dusk and other people.
We're actually going to be doing some Deep Rock Galactic later tonight.
Yeah, in about 30 minutes. So yeah, it's a squad-based shooter where you're a team of space dwarves on another planet trying to mine its resources, and you got to deal with all the creepy crawlies in it. There's 4 different classes. You've got a gunner. You can get 3 guesses what he does. You got an engineer, you got a scout, and you got a driller, and the driller comes with a flamethrower. It is a very fun game.
Honestly, there's been an absolute popularity rise in squad-based games lately. Deep Rock Galactic, freaking
Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2, Content Warning, Lethal Company. Yeah. And not too long before Deep Rock Galactic came out, there was also a GTFO as well.
Yeah. And do we include Team Fortress 2 in that?
Team Fortress 2 has been a thing for a hot minute. But I was talking about specifically 4-man squad stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's also Void Crew, which also had a very big update recently. Some friends of mine actually want to give that a try at some point.
Yeah. I'm also nearly caught up on the Slam Dunk anime, which it's old, but it's from the 90s, but I really do enjoy. I found myself liking an anime about basketball a lot more than I thought I would. I'm actually kind of impressed. Although I think that's
sports anime is surprisingly a very good genre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now make a hockey anime, then I'm really.
I showed you a hockey manga. Are you not satisfied?
No, the manga, yes. I'm saying, but we're talking anime right now. So it's
Well,
like,
the mangaka's last manga got turned into an anime, so
yeah, that's true.
it's
Fair play.
it could happen.
Yeah. Actually would like oh gosh. Yeah, if they were gonna make a hockey anime, I would be very interested in okay, are you gonna do are you going to do hockey in which you allow fighting or not? Because that'll change the whole dynamic of the drama and
I guess that's a question of how does
can you imagine a hockey anime where, for the most part, whenever they're doing the hockey games, yes, it is just a regular hockey game, but they just out of nowhere they start having DB Dragon Ball Z fights in the middle of the rink.
I guess that comes down to a question of how did the Japanese play it compared to us.
I mean, it's hockey. I mean, that's the thing. It's certain leagues and certain levels, they don't allow the fight. Copper down. They don't allow the fighting, and they're certainly a lot of children's leagues now. You get in trouble if you push or shove or whatever, which is stupid. Let the kids get their energy out. But it's because for a while, they were trying to clamp down on fighting in hockey, overseas in certain leagues. But it's no. The NHL has always allowed fighting. You've already got people from all over the world who've gone to the NHL and out. And, fighting breaks out in the Olympic Games. Fighting is a part of the sport. It's going to stay.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I follow the KHL, the Russian league as well. And there's even fighting in there. So, no, you can't. Sorry, people who are against fighting in hockey. Hockey. It's here to stay, and you can get over it.
Yeah,
it's tradition.
Yes, it is. That's the thing I like about hockey is there's the tee hee ha ha grit, gritting your teeth, being oh, I want to tell this guy what's really on my mind, but I can't because I'll get in trouble. In hockey, it's I don't like you. Boom, fist to the face. And it's yes, message received.
I mean, there's a little bit of trash talk in basketball, but that's mostly schoolyard ball.
Yeah, that's the thing. In hockey, if you trash talk, it's you better be ready to drop the gloves. It's like I said, I'm not a big sports guy, but hockey is just where my lizard brain goes off. Because it's nothing will ever beat the unga bunga feeling when you're at a hockey game and the two guys drop the gloves, everybody stands up, half of them drunk, you're yes, kill him.
Hit enemy with big stick.
Yes.
Oh, God.
or I mean, oh man, it is a lot of fun, but nothing will ever beat the rivalry between Detroit and come here. My goodness, she just will not stop whining.
She wants
nothing
attention.
Nothing will beat the rivalry between Detroit and Colorado back in the late 90s, early 2000s, especially the fight night at the Joe where Darren McCarty completely destroyed Claude Lemieux. Holy shit. He was pounding his head. He brought him over to the boards. He was kneeing his face in. And when they pulled him out, he was bloody all over. And Darren McCarty stood tall. It was amazing. It was, but all of that was justified though, because Lemieux, what he had done is he hit a player called Chris Draper into the boards from behind, which is a huge no-no because it's dangerous. And the reason, and it was evident because Chris Draper's jaw got all screwed up, and it was to the point where it's he was drinking his food through a straw for several months.
Damn.
So yeah, Lemieux deserved every little bit that he got from Darren McCarty. And yeah, it's like when you watch the video and Lemieux gets up and the refs, trying to get him over to get him all cleaned up and stuff. He does not know where he is. Which is and then to like make that game storybook though, it went to overtime, and who else but Darren McCarty scored to give the Red Wings the win. And it was that's I can geek out about hockey just like I do with all this other nerd stuff.
I have a feeling you are just going to be going nuts over Dogs Red once you start reading it.
Probably. So, anything else, Brett, that you're looking forward to?
Aside from our stream, not much. Not much. I mean, well, it's almost about to be summer. So, does anyone else like have a go-to summer album?
Summer album, not really though. I mean, I don't know. I was listening to some Alice Cooper today. I know, big shocker, but I was specifically listening to his Trash album.
Uh-huh.
So it was, it was a fun kind of like it's got that fun early '90s, late '80s feel to it. So I don't know. I kind of if you're like talking, just fun, get along summertime, it kind of gives me that vibe.
For me, I always put on Hugo Dusk.
I said lately for me, since it came out, the Now but from the Gorillaz has been my go-to summer album.
Yeah, I put on Sublime's self-titled album.
Mm.
I mean, just listen to that and tell me you do not get summer vibes from those songs.
Yeah, fair enough.
And Jordan Fernandez, your birthday is coming up. Well, I wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jordan.
When exactly is it coming up? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, if there's any songs or albums that's I think summer. Just because I kind of mix music up all year, I mean, I kind of stick with the genres that I'm into. But I'm also weird. I'll also listen to soundtracks, and also I'll listen to songs from musicals and stuff as well. So
yeah, summer in my house means my brother's birthday because it's on July 4th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but good luck. But good luck finding a restaurant that's open on his birthday. Well, I would say open, has space available. Because everyone's gonna go.
You could always pull a Christmas story and go to a Chinese restaurant.
You would probably like that. Actually, I think one year we went to a place called Sushi Burrito.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they actually make these. They make these burrito-sized shaped sushi rolls. Rolls, and they got these big ramen bowls too. It was actually pretty good. It was also, what else? Yeah, when we were actually his birthday was kind of. You guys know that I used to live in Michigan, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the town we lived in was Grand Haven, which was on the west side. And Grand Haven's basically a tourist town, so gets really busy in the summer. And one of its biggest attractions is a thing called the Musical Fountain. And there was a special show for 4th of July. And as you can imagine, traffic is completely fucked on that day. because everyone's trying to get there. The boardwalk though had a corn dog stand called Pronto Pops, which is pretty popular.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like a stand, so like in the middle of summer, like you expect there to be a long waiting line for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty content with where I am in Michigan. Used to be in Detroit, but I enjoy the UP much more. So
I can't
it's
wait
like-
until I'm back home and out of North Carolina.
I'm sorry, what was that?
So I can't wait to be back home and out of North Carolina. I can hate it here.
Oh, you hate North Carolina?
Well, I mean,
I was
North
gonna
Carolina,
say, because it's like it depends on where you are in North Carolina.
Fort Liberty.
You mean Fort Bragg?
No.
Yeah, whatever. I don't give two shits about what it's called. I hate it.
Yeah.
But there's really like no real place to be at here anyway. So if fuck it.
Well, I would I don't know. I my favorite part of North Carolina is this Great Smoky Mountains area. But I would also, because I'm huge into fishing, I would kill to do some saltwater fishing on the coast. So,
The beaches are all right, I guess.
well, I'm a big fisherman, so I just, you get a coastal state, and I'm immediately like, fish where now?
God, you would love Washington.
Oh yeah, I love where I am right now, and I love probably my next place that I've loved to go fishing is Florida. But if I really would love to go check out South Carolina though. That looks like it'd be some fun fishing. Come here, girl. Come here. Come here. My
Oh, man.
goodness, you're so whiny and so complaining, and you just want attention.
Yeah.
Attention at all times.
Yes, attention at all times.
Yeah, guess who woke me up in the middle of the night?
Your cat.
Yeah. He just kept meowing for like over an hour and I couldn't get back to sleep. And I don't know why.
Well, he clearly sees the ghosts that you do not. Cat's got a sense for that.
So I've been told, but yeah, normally he's pretty quiet at night. Like his sleeping pattern is more or less synced up with me. But like last night, like I said, he's
Copper down. Sorry.
Leo does that too. Like he'll attack my leg or my arm to play with it, or one of my neighbor's cats will come by and he'll get really aggressive. So like yeah, there was like one stream where like Leo meowed straight for like over a minute, and you can hear it.
Damn.
Here, my mic cut all his meowing.
8 minutes into the Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final, and Edmonton has the lead. Believe it or not, 2-1.
I buy that. Canadians go nuts over hockey.
Yeah, except like I said, Canada must continue to suffer. Also, sorry, Edmonton, you've had a cup before. Florida's been around for 30 years. They need their first cup, especially with all their recent success. Also, I just love the image of the Stanley Cup, the hockey trophy, being surrounded by palm trees in the ocean.
For hockey, that's hilarious.
Oh yeah, but I mean, Tampa Bay's one. They almost had a dynasty. And they nearly had that three-peat against Colorado. So, yeah, I mean, hockey in Florida is a staple now, just like hockey in Vegas is a staple. The only thing that didn't work that they tried for out of market was Arizona, but it wasn't really the fans that were the problem. It was the management of that team.
Now
they're moving to Utah.
That was the same reason we reason Seattle lost the Sonics.
Hmm.
It was the management. To be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah, I don't know if you guys heard, but so yeah, they haven't decided on a name or logo for the Utah team yet. So right now they're just known as the Utah Hockey Club.
I heard it was Blizzard.
Is that voted on? 1 second, Utah, because I know they started the voting. I don't know if it finished yet though. Utah Hockey Club. Does not look like they've picked the official name yet. They were doing a vote for it. And here we go. The finalists are if I'm not mistaken, they're like it's Blizzard, Yeti is a really popular one, Mammoth, Outlaws, and Venom. I think those are the options.
Well, I could see Outlaws because Butch Cassidy was a Mormon, believe it or not.
Yeah, if I were to pick me personally, I would go Mammoth or Outlaws because you don't have like a cowboy kind of theme.
Yeah.
But I hate Bigfoot. I hate Yeti. I they're like the most least interesting cryptid out there to me.
I live in the state with the most Bigfoot sightings, you know.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? In the UP, we got so much Bigfoot merchandise here, and I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. It's such a touristy gimmick. I hate it.
At least I hear it's part of the culture.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd go Mammoth or Outlaws just because we don't have like a cowboy kind of mascot for the NHL. But we also, but we do have the Predators have a saber-toothed tiger as their mascot. So I think it'd be cool to add in like another like Ice Age kind of animal to the to like the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And it, and I think it's kind of a cool idea that they've got going here with like when Seattle got their team the Kraken, they didn't call it the Krakens, it was just the Kraken.
Yeah.
And so it's like, kind of visualize just like one entity. It's kind of cool. It's got a cool concept, especially since it's a team.
And plus we're a coastal state. We got besides lumber, we're big with the shipping industry, and longshoremen fishing, all that kind of stuff. So it just fits in with the environment out here.
Yeah, another name that I would have liked if Washington went with it would be the Sockeyes. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would have tied into Seattle's tribal history.
Oh yeah, not the tribal history, but also the fishing industry. And I think that they would have did what Vancouver does, where it's like they got that Inuit design with the orca.
Yeah,
I think they would have gone same with the Sockeyes, but the Kraken is cool. But what I was saying is like I would like to see more team names do this because we do know we're going to get an NHL expansion, so there'll be a few more teams added in the next few years. And I kind of do like the idea of like having these names where it's like, it's one entity for the identity. So it's like the Kraken. And so it's like, I actually do like the idea of like the Utah Mammoth. Like, it's like, that's pretty cool, especially since it's like, it's not the Mammoths, it the Mammoth. It just gives you like a sense of like such a aggressive and powerful name.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't think the Mammoth is going to win. Unfortunately, if I had to put money on it, I'm pretty sure the Yetis are going to win, and I hate that so much. But I think, and then for the Utah Venom, I think they'd be going with they might go rattlesnake route with that. But if they do Venom, because Utah is such a big honey industry, they might actually be going with like a bee identity. So I'm not sure. But
Yeah. Related to the crack, and again, I'm kind of actually. I mean, as much as it sucks that we lost the Sonics. I mean, we got the Kraken, and I think hockey kind of fits in better with Washington, better than basketball does, anyway.
I would think so.
I mean, we're on the border with Canada, so there's plus it's pretty cold up here. Don't let Seattle fool you. There's still kind of a very rugged sort of outdoorsy culture out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with here in Michigan. It's like we're mostly a rural state, but it's like we get Detroit kind of painting the picture of what the entire state is.
Yeah, everyone thinks of Michigan, they think of Detroit.
Yeah, and last few times I've been there, no, that is not a representation of what the majority of Michiganders are. But I will say, I do love going to Detroit to watch my Red Wings. Okay, well, we've kind of gone into sports talk, which I wasn't expecting.
Quite a bit of one.
Yeah.
So I'm nothing to say about let me hold up. What's Louisiana's team?
Well, Louisiana doesn't have a hockey team.
Louisiana has a hockey team?
No, I said they don't have a hockey team.
Well, they did. Well, they do, just not in the NHL.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
They got a minor league team called the Ice Gators. Oh wait, they did.
Well, they got there's a league.
I actually quite like that name. That was actually a pretty cute name.
They've actually got a is it ECHL, I believe. I can't remember or which league it is, but they're down in South Florida. They're affiliated with the Florida Panthers. They just won a championship, and they're called the Everblades.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, their logo is a alligator in the shape of a ice skate. So that is pretty inventive, yeah. But
you got the Pelicans for the NBA though.
Oh yeah, New Orleans.
Yeah.
And you got the Saints for football for them too.
I mean, Pelicans is the state bird, so yeah.
Alrighty, well, let's see here. Oh, why don't I just do this? Let's just type in upcoming movies and just see what pops up. And let's see what's
I'm actually looking forward to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for movies.
Whoa, what?
What?
Oh, right. Ultraman and Godzilla heads Netflix best new movies in June. Sweet. Godzilla -1 is now available for streaming. I'm very happy to see that.
Nice. Then isn't Godzilla Kong New Empire, Fallen Empire, whatever is that like currently like the highest grossing MonsterVerse movie at the moment?
Let's have a look.
I have not seen that yet.
My brother and I went to go see it.
How was it?
I went in with very basic expectations. I want a kite. I want a tag team kaiju wrestling match, and that was exactly what I got.
Nice.
By the way, budget was between 135 and 150 mil. Box office so far, 571.2 mil.
Big.
All right, so upcoming films, we got Jesus 2024. I haven't heard of this. Then we got Ghost Right Here, Right Now. The Bike Riders. The Exorcism, starring Russell Crowe. That's interesting. especially since he already did that one Exorcist movie. Oh my gosh, The Pope's Exorcist, which I actually did see that not too long ago, and I usually don't like exorcism movies. They don't really like creep me out or whatever. I actually did find myself a little invested in that because it kind of did look a little bit about like the politics of the Vatican and like how they deal with exorcism. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I haven't seen this before. But
I actually saw the original Exorcist for our Halloween marathon last year.
Yeah, I'm a huge horror guy. Everybody knows that. But this is one of, I do not find The Exorcist very engaging nor scary. Me personally,
I don't know. I found it pretty intense, and it's like after that, I was like to myself, if this is as close as I ever come to ever witnessing an actual demonic possession, I'm fine with that.
Then we got Operation Dagon.
Somehow I get the feeling that's not what that has nothing to do with Lovecraft.
Yeah, Despicable Me 4.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that one.
Oh, Will Ferrell's apparently in it. Interesting.
Yeah, we got it.
Let's see here. What else do I got?
I'm gonna have to
Sound of Hope.
I am
Story of Possum Trot.
I am gonna have to dip out right now and get set up for the Deep Rock Galactic stream in about less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hooray.
Yeah, none of these are really catching. Oh, the sequel to Twister, Twisters.
How long ago was that movie? How long ago was that movie?
I don't know. Oh my god.
What?
Oh,
the
Deadpool and
hell?
Wolverine. That's coming up in late July.
I was not expecting to hear about Twisters.
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. That one actually, I'll admit, I've kind of checked out of a lot of the superhero stuff, but Deadpool and Wolverine looks like it could be fun.
I'll probably actually watch that one
Yeah.
just because Deadpool.
Then we got we've got Trap. Not sure what that is.
Not familiar with that title.
Oh, Alien Romulus.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a thing too.
I would look forward to that if it weren't for the fact that Disney owns it, and I know they're gonna fuck that up. So, oh, the Crow remake.
Yeah, I heard about that one. I'm
sure that Brett's not too thrilled about that.
I'm morbidly curious, but at the same time, I'm not looking forward to that.
I did see the picture of the Crow redesign, and I'll admit I'm not digging that.
And apparently, Blade is continually being in developmental hell because I think they lost another director.
Yeah, I was already skeptical of that film from the beginning, but it's like, no,
Right.
that one's
I
dead.
already
Which
wrote
sucks because
like,
it's like, you know what? I'm tired of all my favorite heroes when they finally get their films, they get the short end of the stick. But then again, we'll always have the original Blade, which is amazing.
I already wrote like the best modern Blade movie
Come here.
you could ever do, and it was just super fucking easy. I did all in like one fucking tweet. All I said was, I said, yep, bruh, Blade was my first superhero. I fucking love the guy. He got me into vampires when I was little. Let me write a fucking Blade movie. Half Blade, half bad vampires. Half Blade kill bad vampires. Half good action scenes. Have them be bros with a guy. Have that guy be a traitor or die horrifically. And have Blade rant about motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill. Boom, $1 gazillion made.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
That's all you have to do. It's that easy.
I heard that they're really gonna. I heard, and I don't have confirmation, but I heard they're really gonna go pretty deep into the racial stuff in there, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Of course they fucking would.
Anyways, here's one I'm excited about. Beetlejuice. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like a sequel to the movie.
Yes, and the best part is we were watching that trailer. It's like it's one of those things where it's like, of course they save Michael Keaton Beetlejuice for the very end, but it's one of those times where it's like, he just goes, "The juice is loose," and I'm like, God damn it! Like that got me excited. It's like how they're doing it because it's like they're doing the whole Vader at the end of the Rogue One trailer thing, oh look, it's him.
Oh yeah,
it's
the
like
very last minute fucking nostalgia hype train.
Yes, but it's working for me. But it's like you've got
Just
you
remember,
have Tim
folks.
Burton involved. You have Michael Keaton coming back.
Just remember, folks, you are not immune to propaganda.
Oh man, it's like, but the thing is, I really think that it's gonna do good. Because the trailer does not feel like it's tee hee ha ha. Remember, you know how dumb things were before. It's like this seems very
never-ending
respectful.
nostalgia bait.
What?
Just never-ending nostalgia bait the entire movie.
No, it feels like what they want to continue and not just be like hey, remember, which I'm happy about, but it just, what I mean, like how it feels faithful is it feels like that feeling of the original Beetlejuice film has not left, and I'm happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see here. What else we got? The Wild Robot. It's an animated movie, and Bill Nighy is in it. So, let me see. What else do we got? Oh, the sequel to Joker's coming up in October.
I still never really watched Joker.
Oh, the original is amazing. And I do have to say, I was a little skeptical. I didn't know how I felt like about the sequel being a musical. But when you see the trailer and you realize it seems like the musical portions are like kind of meant to be like what's
in his mind.
Is like, yeah, in his mind. And I'm like, you know what? I dig it. Because like the first Joker was very artistic. And this one seems to be going down that road a hell of a lot more. And I mean, I'm like, okay, I can buy it.
I imagine it's a good movie. It's just my thing is that, well, for one, I'm getting kind of tired of Joker, and two, the fact it's Joker and all the stuff that from like clips and things I've heard about with the movies, like I just think, yeah, that's not the Joker. It's not what the Joker's about.
I mean, you heard like when that first came out, I think the director said it's like, the whole reason, like he wanted to make this movie, which that's the thing. It's like you could take the Joker name out of it and it would still have been just as good of a movie.
I probably would be more into watching it if Joker wasn't attached to it.
Yeah. But here's the thing is like, I think it's Todd Phillips is the director. And I think he said something along the lines of, you can't make the movie you want anymore. So you have to disguise it as a superhero movie.
God.
And it's like,
I hate that that's actually a believable thing.
Well, the thing is, it's like he had this idea for a film and nobody was interested in it. And then he's like, okay, well, what if it's about the Joker? Ooh, then the executives are like, oh, tell us more.
It's like though, like no disrespect to the man's performance. Just the one and only thing I just don't like about Heath Ledger Joker is just, oh yeah, it's good and all, but that's not the Joker.
Oh, so you want a return to like the Jack Nicholson type Joker?
Like he's the clown Prince of Crime. He's all about killing people in funny ways and making a shitload of money. That's all he cares about. I hate that they kind of turned the Joker into, oh, I have to be fundamentally and necessarily tied to the Batman now, because that's what my whole character is now. I am the shadow of the Batman, and I cannot be anything else but that. I must challenge morality. It's like, no. You're here to be funny, kill people, and make money. That's all. That's all you're supposed to be about, man.
Wait. I don't mean to interrupt you, but we got the third Venom movie, and
I think I've seen a thing involving that. I'm kind of interested in that.
Yeah, Venom's
been pretty good.
Venom is like one of my all-time favorite comic book characters. And the movies have not been the greatest, but they've been fun. And they're an okay representation of certain aspects of the character, and I'm okay with that. They're just fun.
Fair enough.
But now here's where things get interesting. We've got the continuing, everybody. We've got the continuing of the Pooniverse with Bambi the Reckoning.
Oh yeah, with everything becoming what was it? Shit, I forgot. I forget what the term's called, but when it's like no longer attached to a copyrighted, anymore, it just becomes available for the free
it's
market.
Public domain, yeah.
Public domain, yes, that's what it is. With everything becoming public domain and Disney's lineup now.
Yeah. But I can't wait. You know what they should have done? These guys are making these the Pooh movie and this Bambi horror movie and everything. They really should have just called Meat Canyon up and just been like, hey, can we turn your cartoons into movies? And then boom, you would have had like freaking masterpiece right there.
Being true.
Like, can you imagine like it was actually creepy. Meat Canyon's not his 2D animated Pinocchio one was just funny. Have you seen his 3D animated Pinocchio video?
No.
Oh, it is creepy as fuck.
I've heard it was.
Oh yeah, like it's got some like interesting lore in there too. Like it's interesting how much he's able to pack in this little tiny clip.
But not to cut our time together short, but I am being called to the Mythoverse for Deep Rock Galactic.
All right, no, that is completely fine because I'm actually thinking about wrapping it up here too. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming by to say hello and to catch up. I'm happy to be back. I'm not going to be like here every day or whatever, but yeah, I'm looking forward to just finding stuff to enjoy in life again. We'll just say that.
Oh geez, I need to get into that boat again.
Yeah, it's been a miserable past few months. I'll just say that.
Well, it's great to have you back, and since we're both working on a couple of the same projects, it'll be great to actually finally start working with you for real now.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get back to that. Yeah, and I suppose I should end off with saying tomorrow I will stream a game tomorrow evening, and that game will be kept secret until we begin to stream. But given how we were just talking so much about anime and weeb shit, I think that people will be happy with what I've got in store.
Jeez, all right.
And I'll just leave it at that. It's a game that I haven't seen too much of, but it's something, and I know nothing about really, but I like the visual style. I like the concept of the game, and yeah, I can't wait to stream it.
All right, I'm gonna be looking forward to that. I've been thinking about a time to do a stream of my own. So yeah, good to see we're kind of getting back into things, kind of in the same way.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for coming by, everybody, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.
Y'all have a good one.